Alright guys, it's T and I'm back with another video, man, and this one's on Sam Sulek, man. 2.28 million subscribers. Man, did this guy ever grow so fast to get all those millions of subscribers. I guess people love fake, see? They love fake, bro. Anyways, I'll show you that his training is really sarcoplasmic training, and I can prove it because he'll even say it without even probably knowing that's what he's doing. Yeah, here we go.
Tape in the bag, but it's only been a week. I don't think there's any point.
Hold on.
It's time for an arm pump. I tell you what, it is time for a freaking arm pump if I have ever had one. I've still got the measuring tape in the bag, but it's only been a week.
There you go, man. He just said it's time for an arm pump. If anybody's telling you that they're getting the pump, it's time for an arm pump, then their training is geared towards sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It isn't myofibular growth. You understand me? They haven't any inclination there. It's not even based on protein synthesis exceeds this breakdown of proteins so that you can build muscle. You need to exceed that breakdown. Remember, muscle is breaking down constantly. If you go to a gym and you lift, you're even breaking it down even more because there's a window already open for breakdown. It's breaking down. And so not only do you have to make up for that breakdown for life and then exceed that breakdown, that's a lot of protein, bro. You have no idea. People have this idea, they go 200 grams, oh, that's a lot for them, 200, 280. Nah, man. And then I said once 800, I said minimum 800 to one person. They're like, what? Yeah, man, you have to eat a hell of a lot of protein to be in an anabolic growth state for that muscle to actually grow real muscle through proteins. Proteins, amino acids build muscles, not donuts and chocolate milk and potatoes and stuff. They build sarcoplasmic muscles. You're getting a pump. So that type of hypertrophy is different. Remember, there's different modalities in hypertrophy. There's many. There's blood flow restriction. There's inflammation. There's lactic acid. There's gravitational loading, unloading. Yeah, man, there's all kinds. There's hyperplasia. There's myofibular growth. Sarcoplasmic. Yeah, man. There's even these supplements like creatine and all that. They too hypertrophy the muscle, but they're artificial. Do you understand me? Yeah. All right. I'm gonna watch the rest of the. Look, I can prove it to you before we watch it. See, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is a kind of artificial muscle growth wherein muscles increase the size visually by increasing the amount of fluid. Boom. There you go. It's glycogen. ATP, they mean energy source, ATP. It's glycogen. I can even prove it in this one too. These people that are trained people usually get that. They don't even realize it. Muscle fiber hypertrophy in response to 6 weeks of high volume resistance training in trained young men is largely attributed to what? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. There you go. Yeah, man. So that's his training.
I don't think there's any point.
So you know the muscle he's getting, it's artificial muscle growth through fluid. That's about it. Yeah.
Cool to track your arm measurements and stuff like that, but I mean, you're not going to put half an inch in your arms in a week.
So you're going to say that steroids build muscle. They don't build muscle. They could aid in drawing more of this glycogen in the muscle, but they themselves do not build muscle. Protein, if you want to build real muscle, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. But without any extra nuclei donated by that domain, you can't further this growth. It won't support any more growth without that progenitor donating its nuclei to that domain, that myonuclear domain. Yeah, because it's reached the ceiling limit, bro, at 15. Yeah. The only time you ever get it again is when there's a calibration in your muscle. Anytime you do something you're unaccustomed to, you will get a donation of the nuclei, and you all call that newbie gains. And after that, there's nothing.
You're not going to put a quarter.
So what is there left to look like this? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Now, you can get that. You'll look big and bulky and round and fluffy. The difference is he's using anabolics, so that dries him out. That keeps him very dry. His skin and the fat keeps him very dry. There's no triglyceride in there. It's all drawn out because of the anabolics. Look, fat cells, you can't get more fat cells or lose fat cells. You're born with a certain amount of fat cells. They either get bigger or smaller. They get big or they shrink. They increase or shrink through triglyceride. You don't get more or less of them. That's just how it works. Now, muscle fibers, now they can build up proteins. You can also get muscle cells. Yeah, you can do that. There's something specific to get that, but can't talk about that now in this video.
Maybe you'll put a tenth of an inch on your arms in a week, but honestly, you won't even notice that kind of thing. I'd say
a steroid guy or a guy in the gym just lifting, a gym guy, gym bro, who doesn't even know what the hell he's doing. Well, he could get that too doing sarcoplasmic training. He just has to eat a lot of glycogen. He has to train his muscle to absorb that glycogen. Yeah. That's a training, bro. That's a training.
month to month, check your, measure your arms, see where you're standing. And you may have to come to a realization if you look at that data and it just says fucking, let's say 16 inches, just same after month after month after month, then what's that telling you? It's telling you your arms are not growing. So, maybe if you only do a little bit of biceps after back day.
The question is, how can they grow all by themselves, Sulek? It takes food and specific training to grow them. And if you're doing the same thing over and over again, how can you expect a different outcome? You're going to get the same outcome at zero. That's what you just said. If you're doing the same training, if you're doing that training, the same one, whatever, and you're measuring it's 16 inches and it hasn't grown, of course, it's time to change. It's called a repeat about effect. It means that if it ain't working, it's time to change. In order for things to work, keep working, you've got to change. If you don't change, it'll stay the same.
Or maybe if you only do a little bit of tries after chest day, then you got to reevaluate your approach. I love a dedicated arm day. Actually not even partially, pretty much just because I like having a full-on arm pump. But there's actually a couple more.
Again, he loves that full arm pump. He must know it's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. This pump training, bro. Pump training. This isn't myofibular training, pump training. This ain't blood flow restriction training either.
Reasons. Chest and tries I do like. I do like a chest and try day. But for me, back and biceps come into play too much on back. So, I don't know. I just don't love doubling up. Like, if I'm going to get a little bit of bicep activation and then do a kind of a scrappier bicep workout after back, I don't know. I just enjoy waiting for the next day and then doing buys on their own, nice and fresh. I always just get I almost combined bigger and better. I always get, a bigger and better pump. Plus it just feels better curling when I'm fresh. It wouldn't make sense to train a muscle if it's already...
I could tell you this, he lacks separation, he lacks muscularity and separation. When he poses and you look at his arm, it's kind of... there's people that just have better arms, they just look much better than him. He just doesn't, he looks okay, but when you line him up with these other professionals, I guarantee he's going to be last of the line.
You've been fatigued inadvertently.
This is not a bashing video. I'm simply making, how should I put it, an assessment of what he's doing, his training. That's about it. And the physical look for bodybuilding, what he's lacking. Because I saw him pose. I looked at his arms carefully, his posing. He looks good in certain poses, but double bi, it's just, really needs a lot of work, man. People are not working enough on their conditioning and separation, muscularity. He's got to work on more of that.
That's why I would never want to do cardio.
Even if his body is pumped up like a penis pump, all swollen with like glycogen in there, fake muscles.
Well, I guess that's kind of taxing your whole system. But I wouldn't want to do cardio, right before the lift, right? If I've done
That's stupid. Lifting is cardio. Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. Anything physical that you're doing is connected with cardio. It is impossible not to do something physical that is not cardio. Anything cardio is physical. Anything physical is cardio that you're doing. What are you talking about?
my cardio, I tax my system. I'll wait for myself to recover a little bit, and then go hit whatever I'm hitting.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. You want to run, you think cardio is running on a machine, running up and down on a machine. Okay, so that would be counterintuitive. Like, what's the point? If your whole goal is to get this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, glycogen loading in the muscles, right? Creating these fake artificial muscles, that kind of defeats the purpose running on a treadmill and then going to work out. You're going to lose some of that pump because it's going to use it as an energy source. It's an energy source, what you're loading in the muscle, like it said there, ATP.
So today, I don't want to say a dark day, but today was an unfortunate day for my little buddy, Oliver. He's our new cat. He got neutered, so he's fucking off his rocker right now. Oh, he's all right.
Now, was that Walgreens you just passed there? I love the the Miller 6 tall boys Miller special back in the day, $2.99 or something.
He's we just locked him up in his cage. He's fucking bouncing off the walls. I'm sure by morning he'll be feeling like his normal self again. I just hope he doesn't lose that animal instinct. So you got to have a little bit of mind-muscle connection to not activate your lats and just squeeze your buys. But yeah, I mean,
I love this. The people make this up. They go mind-muscle connection. There's no such thing as mind-muscle connection. There's just a feeling you're going off of to make sure that is the training that you're doing. It isn't a mind-muscle connection. It is a feeling that you're looking for, specific outcomes that you're looking for. They develop in the physical world. The pain, some soreness, a feeling, a pump, something going on there that you're looking for that coincides with your specific training. Like you just said, you are looking for the pump that goes with sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, because on a carnivore diet, you're not going to get a pump, bro. Get it? So you're actually creating fake muscles because it's glycogen loading, and glycogen is not protein. I'm sorry, it just is not. You understand me? It's herbivore diet. It isn't based on carnivore diet. So these donuts and chocolate milk and sugar and everything, they're just loading up in your muscles. It is extremely unhealthy. That's all I could tell you.
Maybe 5-ish sets. Probably, I don't know, maybe 6 max. I don't have a specific number that I'm aiming for. I'm really just training and, doing set after set after set until I feel, honestly, just fucking satisfied. And that's sort of just based on, training experience. But I guess in my mind, I kind of judge it off of, how fatigued do I feel? How much of kind of a burning sensation do I feel? How hard were those sets? And
what did I tell you about burning sensation? That burning sensation is lactic acid buildup. He's going to get an inflammatory response, that's for sure, because he's chronically lifting, so he's going to definitely have some inflammation in there for sure, making him look bigger, and this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, the pump, yeah.
The point isn't to get a pump.
It's basically all artificial. Oh, now he says it's basically not the point to get a pump?
And be done. But I think by the time you have your peak pump, you will have done enough work to satisfy being done with that lift. But let's say for whatever reason I'm fully pumped after one set. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop after one set. You gotta be a little bit. What's the word here? I want to say.
Again, do you think that protein can give you a pump? If you just eat protein and you go into the gym, like animal meat, which is high nutrient dense, amino acid, protein, whatever, food. So you eat animal meat and some animal fat, whatever. You go into the gym and you lift. do you think you're going to get a pump? No, absolutely not. So what's giving you the pump? You're eating a herbivore diet, vegetables, these vegetables and shit and fruit and stuff, they give you a pump. Yeah. Now, you think these vegetables and fruits and stuff, you think they build muscle? You're going to say, well, there's protein in there. They're kind of deficient in micronutrients, and they're deficient in some of these amino acids anyways. They're actually toxic. They have oxalates in there. That's what makes them anti-nutrient. See what I mean? They're anti-nutrient. So your cells aren't going to get the nutrients, but you will draw in a lot of glycogen.